Can we all agree on one thing, guys? And that is that there are so many more hot women in this world than there are men, respectfully. But like, I was like scrolling through Hinge the other day, and I was like, fuck me. It is going to be so hard for me to find a husband. And yet then I like look on my brother's Hinge, and it's just like hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl. Like, girls, we're crushing it. Boys, up your game. You suck.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we're going to look at how women learn the hard way, how loneliness eventually catches up to them, and why the wall shows no mercy. Before we begin, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. That support keeps us going. Let's get into it.
Basically, all I've learned from this entire experience is that casual is not for me. I just got done seeing my man who's not my man, but like he's literally not my man. And I basically told him that like I don't want to be in contact anymore. And yeah, like I mean I told him that like I wanted to be with him, that I wanted more for the two of us, and he told me that he's already told me that we don't align on wanting to have kids.
I really appreciate this woman's honesty and her bravery in sharing her story. If you guys haven't seen the recent Call Me Daddy podcast controversy, basically people are taking clips of this podcast and really showing how toxic the podcast host's advice is. A recent one was her admitting that she keeps a list of all the men that she has been with, and this woman is married right now. The way that she phrases it is just vulgar. She talks about she remembers each one that has been, I can't even say it. And then she basically is saying, and look at me, I'm still able to be married. I think that's her way of coping. And it is a terrible message, especially to young women. This is like the #1 podcast that's listened to by women, which is honestly scary. More and more women, unfortunately, they're going to be learning the hard way. And in the end all, as it already is, it's going to make relationships in today's day and age more and more difficult.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
As soon as someone tries to tell me they don't like kids, you've literally told me everything I need to know about you. And I have no interest in being a friend at all. Because yes, you can choose to be child-free and live a fairly majority child-free life. You don't get to go into the world and assume that your whole life will always maintain being child-free, because children exist. You were a child at once. But to vehemently admit that you hate the most innocent of people.
I just came back from Miami, and I realized a lot of these guys are like, fuck all these whores, the whole flation, there's no good girls here, blah blah blah. And then I asked them what their body count is, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't remember. I don't know if this is a hot take or whatever, but if you have a high body count, you're gonna end up with somebody who also has a high body count. And if you have a small, low body count, you're gonna end up with somebody who has a low body count. You can't be a guy that has a high body count and expecting a virgin. That's just not how it works. You don't get that.
Fuck being beautiful. Yeah, I said it, and I mean it with my whole chest. Fuck that concept. It's so stupid. I believe that there is so much importance placed onto young girls that they're beautiful and they look a certain way, and I believe that is there to keep them down, to keep them quiet. Because hell, if I would do everything on myself, like maintenance-wise, beauty-wise, to cater to our beauty standards, I wouldn't have time to post on here. I wouldn't have time to build a business or study, you know what I mean? Like, this importance of looking good and performing, I believe, is keeping developing girls from realizing how powerful they are. You are more than a pretty face. You are more than your body. You have a voice, a personality, a purpose, a reason to be here. You have power. The world needs your light. Like, get out there. Get out there and show the world what you have to offer, okay? Don't let all these people tell you that, oh, you need to look a certain way to be accepted and to be worthy and to be lovable. Like, no, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, especially if you're a young girl, okay? Stand up for yourself. You have a voice. You have talent. You're so beautiful, smart, lovable. Like, you are all those things. Fuck society. Sorry, but fuck society. If they're trying to tell you that you have to always look perfect and be more beautiful and especially if those same standards don't apply to men. Like, fuck that. No, do your thing, queen. I love you. I support you. Like, the world needs your light. Please. I will see you tomorrow. I love you so much. Bye.
As you can see, women have a problem with their choice in partners. Or maybe the real issue is the type of men they choose. Like the woman said in the intro, it's now easier for a man to get an attractive woman than it is for a woman to lock down a top 20% man. Most women want winners. They want to be the ones giving men a chance. They want to feel like they're the selectors. But now that men are walking away from dating, treating women as equals, and realizing their true value, men are the ones setting the standards. Whether we want children or not, whether we accept high-mileage women or not, whether we put a ring on them or not, men have the power to choose now. We're choosing women who bring feminine energy, women who know how to show appreciation and acts of service. If you're not that type of woman, you simply don't qualify.
Remember in college when all you had to do was get blackout drunk on any given night, the night of your choosing, in order to find like a hot, jacked guy? Now when I see a guy who's jacked, I'm like, that's so nostalgic. I used to have my absolute pick of the litter with you, and now at 33 years old, I'm traipsing around the city in high heels, trying to find a fucking bar that will let me in, and then also trying to find a guy who's like hot and jacked and like, I have to care about like personality in your job now. Like, are you ambitious? Because like I have to actually want to spend time with you. Whereas in college, like all you had to care about was, are you hot? Like, I miss those days.
Nope, I don't remember that, but I do think that this serves as a really important message because all too many times I think that women believe that what they're experiencing in their 20s is exactly what they're going to experience through their 30s and even 40s. Ladies, that is not reality because there's always continuous 20-year-olds that are going to replace you. If you want something more than walking the streets in your 30s alone looking for who knows what, or living at home by yourself in your 50s with a bunch of cats, you might want to consider doing a little bit more than just seeking that validation every weekend of your 20s.
Gotcha, bitch!
I'm back seeing my old situationship. Is that even what you'd call it? I don't even know. Anyway, this is the date update, so let's talk about it. But let me give you some background because I feel like it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, so if you ever hear me speaking about the take it from me, don't agree to be FWB? F? That's right. With someone you don't know, this is the particular person I'm referencing because I learned that the hard way. That's basically what it was, and then it turned into something a little bit more complicated because little old me caught feelings. Obviously, would we expect anything less from me? No. I feel like I'm so grateful that it panned out the way it did because I just feel like the growth that I had last year was immense and one of my biggest blessings, so everything really does happen for a reason. Now, fast forward to this year. We're here now. You guys will have seen the get ready with me for my first date. Literally cannot fault this person. But then Mr. What are we referencing? Got back in contact with me. I felt like I owed it to myself to explore where this could go, given the fact that I always looked back and thought, oh, well, what if? And I suppose that brings us to now. The thing about him that made me like trip, fall and stumble was the emotional maturity and the communication. I feel like I'm good at communication, and I feel like with a male I have never been able to like have that. Then he gave me that and I was like, oh, I'm in troubled waters now, aren't I? And I was. But yeah, excited to see where it goes. It's just all a part of life, but that's my big debrief update. Because you're all my best friends and I like to feel like you feel like you're on FaceTime because I just love you all.
It is so offensive to think that a man would think that you would like him for free. It is so offensive for a man to think that you would give him your time, your body, marriage, have his children, carry on his legacy, have an extension of him for free. It is just as easy to fall in love with a broke man as it is a generous man or a rich man.
So choose wisely. I know you would like to think that you don't choose who you fall in love with, but that is very far from the truth. Anyone that you give substantial amount of time to and energy to is someone that you could fall in love with. So when you let your thoughts run wild, even if you're not with them physically, if you're allowing someone to consume your thoughts and you're not being intentional, you could fall in love with that person. I personally do not believe in struggle love. I will not be with a man that's going to make me struggle with him, because I do not believe a man that truly loves you would want you to struggle. Okay? And just know that love is a feeling. Even if you're super in love with somebody today, down the line, there's going to be a point in time you're going to fall out of love, and you're going to have to learn how to fall in love with them again, right? That's how relationships work. It takes a lot of effort from both partners to keep the relationship going. So wouldn't you rather just start off with somebody that has clear direction and a man with a plan than to choose somebody that doesn't even know how to take care of themselves? Stop loving these men for free. Please.
It's pretty ironic when women talk about energy and all that nonsense. Because like the first girl, you can see she was chasing the muscular guy, the college chat of the moment, and giving herself to those men with zero commitment involved. And now that same woman wants to become somebody's wife. It's sad watching a 33-year-old woman hit the wall, going to bars looking for men, talking about how she can't keep living her college party phase anymore because men don't want older women. Even the chads have changed. Then suddenly she starts talking about not giving herself away. Remember this. A woman is only difficult with the man she doesn't truly want. For the guy she actually likes, she makes everything easy. Sometimes she's even the one chasing him. So if a woman has you struggling nonstop, that's not your spot. She's not into you like that. Move on to another woman. There's no shortage of attractive single women out there right now, because the wall is collecting.
Women.
I think the world needs to know this. In Brazil, they just passed a law that treats misogyny the same way it treats racism and homophobia, as criminal offenses. And if you're American, you're probably thinking like, well, speech-based offenses like that are crimes in Brazil. And yeah, so like saying the F or the N word could get you in jail. I'm not even joking. But I think the most concerning part about this law is how subjective the term is, right? And one of Brazil's biggest news media decided to talk about this law and gave an example of what misogyny could sound like. And the example they gave was, oh, if you ask someone, a woman, if, oh, like, are you this mad because you're on your period? That could be considered misogyny. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. It gets worse. This law also completely redefines what a woman is. They completely got rid of the adult human female. Now, according to the law, a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman. So now you have an anti-misogyny law that doesn't even define what a woman is. That's pretty chaotic. Some companies are already talking about not hiring women because who would want to have such liability there? Like you could have employees accusing one another of misogyny under very subjective terms, but then these companies could also be sued for not hiring women in the first place. Like this becomes a legal minefield. Well, the United States doesn't have a law like this, and I hope we never do. But believe me when I tell you that all of the BS that these Democrats try to pass and the things they advocate for, I've seen them all in Brazil, and I know how it goes. The left works the same everywhere. It just happens that in some places they get to go further with their idiotic ideas, like in Brazil. And this is why our fight against this woke ideology matters so much. They're now trying to change words and trying to normalize things that are not normal at all. But the main goal is that they are able to redefine our reality. Pay attention.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Not only is my marriage over with my husband, today I found out that I am pregnant. So not long ago, I had a message request. So I opened the message request and my heart immediately dropped. So Somebody told me that my husband was cheating on me. And not only was my husband cheating on me, but my husband was cheating on me with my best friend. And not only was he cheating on me with my best friend, he had been cheating on me with my best friend almost since the moment that we met, before we got engaged and before we got married. And I didn't want to believe it. I honestly didn't. I thought maybe this is just a prank. It's on AI. And I'm not somebody who checks someone else's phone. I'm not that girl. But when he went to go take a shower the next time, best believe you, I snatched up that phone. And he wasn't even trying to hide it. He didn't have a passcode on his phone. And the very top messages were messages between the two of them. The most heartbreaking part of those text messages was reading that he texted her immediately after we had a magical night together. We had dinner, we had a couple glasses of wine, we took a couple spicy cubes. I put that thing down, flipped it, and reversed it. And when I left the bed, he immediately was texting her saying how much he missed her and how much he wanted to see her. And so I confronted him on it. And instead of apologizing to me, he was like, you know what, you're right. Didn't even ask if we could make it work or go to therapy. He packed a bag and is now living with her at her apartment. And so I've, of course, blocked them both on everything. And I don't even know what to do. Do I tell him about the pregnancy? I feel so alone without my best friend and my husband.
When countries are run by people with no common sense, you end up with this kind of stupidity. Imagine being a company forced to debate whether hiring women is even worth the risk. With laws like that, I wouldn't do it either. As for the woman who got cheated on, which I don't support, it sounds like her friend simply got there first. She never gave her husband children. Her man probably wanted kids, and like we all know, a woman's worst enemy is often another woman. That friend coming over to the house, getting to know the husband, seeing a good man with no children. Of course, she was going to try to take him. It's not that she lost her husband. The reality is that man is eventually going to feel the pull to become a father, and when that happens, he's going to leave her behind. Like the saying goes, if you own a shop, take care of it. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why does the modern woman have to hit the wall before learning what she should have understood at 22? Do you think women learn the hard way because nobody told them the truth early enough, or because they simply refuse to listen? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video on the wall.